chords. All right, and then you can enjoy it all the way over the month. All right, so are we ready to stretch and relax? All right, hopefully you can see me okay. All right, so you got some stuff handy. You might want a rolled up blanket or a towel. You might have a cushion. You might have a yoga block. All right, so it's quite nice to use props in the yin. So we're going to start off with butterfly. Okay. Now you can, so we're not going to come in really tight, okay? But you know, rather than, we are going to come into the butterfly fold afterwards. So if you bring your heels in reasonably close, okay. Okay, and we want the sitting bones down. Now, if you feel yourself rounding, all right, it's always really nice. I often do this, is just to elevate the hips a little bit. Okay, it just allows you just to lengthen through your spine, and it just lets the knees and the hips just relax a little more. But see how it feels for you. Okay. All right, I'll turn and face you. All right, so you want to close your eyes, you can do. All right, now we're just going to sit nice and tall, but relax the shoulders. All right, just let your legs relax. Okay, and then we're going to tilt the head over to one side just so we get a nice release through the neck and the top of the shoulder. Ah. All right, we're actually going to stay here for a minute each side. If you want to add a little bit more, you just rest your hands on the side of your head. All right, just to make sure it's not pulling too much. We don't want the chin to tuck in or to lift. If you want to try a little bit more through the top of the shoulder, you can wrap a hand around your back and take hold of the wrist. And then you sort of feel it shift a little bit more through to the top of the shoulder. So you can sort of play around with it a little bit over the month, just see where you want to go with it. Okay, and we'll change sides. All right. So you might want to start without your hand on, and then you can just let the weight of your head just release. At the hand, just when you feel ready, just, you know, just see how it feels. And so bringing it more into the shoulder. It's just bringing the hand around, and then you get hold of your wrist. That way. Right, so again, you're not yanking. It's just a gentle pressure. Right, so if you want to release from that one, just a little roll around through your shoulders. All right, so a little release up here, getting a little bit more through here. So we're going to take the feet further forward. So let me move back a little bit. Okay, and we have our butterfly fold. Okay, so again, you might want to be elevated or sat grounded, but just let your pelvis tip backwards so you feel a little lift, and then you can melt down. Take the forehead to the feet. And if it doesn't want to come all the way down to the feet, you can always just support yourself on your hands. Or if you do have a cushion or a block, you can use that as a little prop. Just snuggle yourself in. Just relax through your shoulders. And you should feel a really lovely release through your back. Through the back of the neck, the shoulders. Gentle release through the hips and a gentle release through the hamstrings. And just snuggle yourself in and breathe. You might have come rushing from work. We've been busy today, so if your mind keeps ruminating on stuff that's happened through your day, just really focus on your breath. I just want to notice the sensation as you breathe in of your back expanding, your ribs expanding, and as you breathe out, just a gentle softening and deeper release through your back. And just another couple of breaths. Okay, roll yourself up. And you might just want to bring your fingers behind and then just lift and open your chest, all right? Because we're going to continue with a fold, all right? So just take a little counter, okay? And we're going to come into a single leg fold, all right? Now again, you might want to have the hips elevated, all right? Slightly, just sort of deepen the stretch a little bit. Now, if you feel it pulling behind your knee at any time, all right, you can fold up a towel or a blanket and just provide a little bit of support for the knee, okay? Again, we're just going to focus on pulling the hips back, all right? So pull your pelvis back and then breathe in. And as you exhale, we're just lengthening, okay? Now we're going to aim the nose towards the knee, all right? But the goal isn't necessarily to get your nose on your knee. It's more to feel the release through the back, the stretch through the hamstring, and the rounding of the spine. Your hand position, you can have your hands just gently resting on either side of your leg. Okay? Or you can lengthen further and hold onto the foot, but we're not going to pull. Okay. Your foot to your leg is gently active. That means we're not tightening the muscles, all right? We don't need to flex the foot and push away with the heel. But the foot is just gently active, so it's sort of in a fairly neutral position. As you work over the month with this one, if you end up so you can get down, right, you want to play a little bit more with your hamstring. If you bring the foot that's tucked in further down your leg towards your shin, you feel a deeper stretch down the hamstring of the straight leg. All right, so if you just try moving the foot on the inside of the leg further down, all right, you might not want to go there tonight, all right, but it's just something to try over the month. If you're feeling really flexible down your hamstring, you can tuck the bent leg in so the heel comes by your hip and then fold. Okay, so I'm just going to show you different options tonight that you can play with over the month. But remember with the yin, we want to try and stay as still as possible in the pose. You can always change if you want to go deeper or you need to come out. And remember to just relax and let go. Okay, now walking your hands back in. Okay, if you've adjusted your foot here or even here, okay, just draw it back in. Okay, and we're going to take a little twist. So we're going to turn towards the bent knee. All right, not here for too long. Okay, you can hook over or you can have a hand just on the side of the straight leg. So remember with the yin poses, we're not coming to a maximum of a pose like maybe we would in yang, so it can be fairly relaxed. Just feel a little rotation. Okay, release. We'll do the straight leg fold on the other side. All right, so again, you can try elevating your hips. You might feel that that gives you a deeper stretch. You can support under the knee. Okay, we're always going to start in the gentlest version, which is the heel coming in towards the groin. If it irritates your knee, of course, just open it up. All right. So remember, we want to tilt from the hip. So we find a little bit of length and then we melt down. You'll be feeling some lovely sensations down the back of your leg. And again, releasing through the back, through the shoulders. Doesn't matter if we're up high. Just feel that gentle rounding of the spine to really let go of the lower back. And you just let your body weight go with gravity and your breath. Okay, we're about halfway through. So if you do feel that you need a little bit more through the hamstring, okay, you can try the different leg positions. If you feel that you want to just lengthen and let go with your back, you can just keep your legs where they are and focus on that weight through the torso, just to surrender your chest onto your thigh. And just breathe. Deep breath. Just letting go, just giving yourself permission. Letting your muscles relax. Just feel all that deep tension and tightness just melting away. And if you want to have another breath there, and then work your way up Okay, and we'll take the little open twist on the other side. Okay, so think about lifting up with the crown of the head, but relax the shoulders away from the ears. So you feel length through the spine, and the rotation is coming more through the thoracic region as the hips are anchored. Hands wherever they feel good. Okay, lovely. And a release. All right, so we've done plenty of flexion there. So we're going to take our spine in the other direction and come to a supportive bridge. All right, so it depends what you've got handy. You might have some cushions stacked up. All right, if you've got a yoga block, you can use a block. All right, so if we're using a block, it comes under your sacrum. Now, if you're using the block, it gives a nice gentle pressure. So it's a little bit like sort of, you know, like if you use foam rollers and stuff, it's like a little gentle pressure for sacral release. Okay. But if you haven't got a block, it doesn't matter. You've got your cushion or your stacked up pillows, whatever you've got. But remember, we don't want to have it under the lower back. All right, so the tip will just be on your sacrum. And wriggle your shoulders under, and then see how it feels to take your arms overhead. So it should feel quite a relaxed position. Oh. So the higher your hips are supported, all right, the deeper the back bends. But don't worry, you know, if you haven't got too much height. So this is really good for the lower back, all right? For the sacral area of your lower part of your spine, for your SI joints. It's beautiful for opening up through the front of the body, and with your arms over your head, you get a lovely shoulder stretch as well. But if it's not comfy with your arms overhead, you can just have them by your side. And again, just breathe. You should feel fully supported. Again, if you feel your mind wandering, and just bring your awareness back to your breath. And this time as you breathe in, really feel your ribs at the front expand. So the top of your chest, the sides of your chest, the lower part of your chest. And as you breathe out, just let them gently draw back in. Just letting your awareness come so it can be anchored into the moment. It really helps doing it with the breath. Okay, now what we're going to do from here is just straighten one leg out and then tuck the other knee in towards the chest. All right, so we're keeping the spinal extension, the lower back release, but we're getting a little bit of opening up through the hip flexor as well. Now the leg that's lifted, you can just let your feet relax. All right, so you don't have to hold your leg in place. You can hold behind the thigh, the front of the shin. Yeah, just let your leg relax. If you just start to feel uncomfortable with the knee being drawn in towards the chest, you can always place that foot down on the floor. Okay, it's extending the leg. That's why we want to feel the deep stretch, but it will just reduce the stretch a little bit. Yeah, slowly, if you want to switch your legs over, okay, take your time. Oh. Okay, so just bringing both feet back onto the floor. Okay, and just lift your hips a little higher and remove your props. Okay, and then we're just going to lie on our backs. Right, so we're going to thread the needle. Okay, so let's make it a little bit easier. We'll all go with the same leg. So if you want to cross your right ankle over your left thigh, yeah. And then when you're ready, you can hold on to the back of the thigh or the front of the shin. Now we're going to relax the shoulders down on the floor. Okay, you can close your eyes. And you'll be feeling the stretch around the outer part of your right hip and your butt cheek. Okay. And the leg that's crossed over, the foot doesn't need to be like hyper superly flexed, right? But the foot is relatively active. Okay? So it's not pointing and flopping, it's not flexing with the toes pulling back, but your toes are going to be fairly upright. And then the leg that you're holding on to, that can be totally relaxed. You want a little more around the outside of your bum. Okay. You're just going to use your hands, you can see, and open out a little more, but without pushing on the knee joint. Or you hug in more. So you bring your knees right towards your chest. Okay, so you just feel which one works for you over the month. And now we can take this straight into a twist. So if you want to release your hands, now the foot that is exposed, it's crossed over, that's going to come down to the floor. So your right foot comes down, the left is still tucked in. And then we're just going to gently open the knee up towards the ceiling. And then spread your arms, anchor your shoulders, and just enjoy the twist. Now, if you feel that this knee just wants to keep falling in, you can just work on opening it up. Over the month, you can always give it a little bit of support. And if this feels too much through the back at all, you can just bend both knees. Okay. As we open out over the month through the hip flexor, your knee will open up a little more. So you get the benefit of the twist through the mid part of the spine because the shoulders are anchored. But we still get this nice opening stretch through the hip flexor here. And just breathe. Okay, from here, what we're going to do is just straighten the legs out. Okay, so just go into quads so you can keep your arms wide. All right, just let your spine reset. All right, let it lengthen. Just let your hips relax. So just a little counter here in quads. All right, just to realign and reset. I better do the other side. I mean, I don't know about you, but I could just like nod off here. All right, so if you want to bend your knees back in. All right, so we're going to thread the needle on the other side. So the left leg's going over. All right. So again, think about this foot, the top foot being active. All right, just gently active. So it's not pointed, it's not flopping around, it's not toes out pulling in. And then just hug in. And just see where you want to go this side. So you might want to be back of the thigh. Might want to be the shin. Maybe feeling that deep initial stretch. Right, lift your bum here. So you just breathe. And just let it slowly and gently release. And just relax your shoulders, relax your face. You can relax the throat and the jaw just by having the tongue gently resting in the bottom of the mouth. Your lips together and your teeth just a little bit apart. Amazing how much tension we can actually carry in our jaw. Hopefully over the month, you'll feel that you can draw your knees in closer towards your chest. As they come closer, you can tease this knee out a little further. And you're ready for the twist. If you release your arms, so I've just changed position. So your left foot comes down, so the knees are going over to the right. You can open the arms, anchor the shoulders, have a little wiggle around. So don't worry if your knees are falling in at the moment. Hopefully over the month, as we're releasing through the hips, we'll be able to open the knee out a little more. And don't forget, if it feels uncomfortable, just stack your knees and just come into a double knee twist. And see where you can let go, where you can relax. Where you feel heavy and grounded. Where you feel the stretch. Where you feel the release. Face relax. Your jaw and your throat still relax. And if you want to come back to the center, okay, I just want to hug your knees in towards your chest. And then circle the knees around about 4 times one direction, 4 times the other. And just see how it feels. And then we're going to come into quartz pose. And this half hour start off very quick. We're running a bit late. That'll be no problem. Okay, so just get yourself comfy. Remember, if it pulls on your back, bend your knees, feet apart, knees together. And just settle in. Hopefully your muscles are feeling quite relaxed already. And just use your breath just to find a little more release. Right, ladies, and then just stay where you are. Just continue with some deep breaths. I'm going to stop the recording now. Okay, so if you're watching when you're doing this over the month, you can just stay where you are for longer if you have the time and you want to. Okay, so enjoy.